Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Mike with 184 Aerospace, and we're going to continue on with the Level 3 certification build. Today we're going to start working on connecting the nose cone shoulder to the nose cone and mark and connect the upper body frame to the aft bay, the center coupler, and attach the switch band. First thing we got to do is mark out some reference lines on the body tubes that are going to be affected. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. Stick around, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. So let's get going. I made up several pieces of paper here that taped together and marked the circumference of the body frame. So we're going to take that piece of paper and we're going to match it up. And because our nose cone is tapered, it's going to be a little loose. We will square piece of tape on the overlap, as well as hold it to the body tube while we make our mark. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape here, and then we're just going to put another little piece of tape where we don't have to mark. So all the connection points are going to have 3 8mm bolts with weld nuts epoxied on the inside. It's probably way overkill, but that's what we have, so that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to mark the first bolt. Alright, so we've got the nose cone marked up. Now what we're going to do, and this is important that we remember this, we're going to take our coupler with the upper bulkhead in place. You might say, well, we're not using that bulkhead up there, but we might in the future. That's why we're bolting this and not epoxying it, because I want to be able to change over to head-end dual deployment. Different kind of configuration, but I don't want to do it for my certification. I want to be able to do it later on. So let's tuck this in here. And we might have to sand the bulkhead a little bit, or we might not. It looks like we're going to have to sand the bulkhead a little bit. So what we'll do for right now, because I'm not ready to start sanding yet, is we'll mark the next body tube. Get this out of the way. Now we're going to mark the upper body tube. So we're going to, same thing, we're going to take our fancy reference of and wrap it around here. All right, and we're going to tape it together, making sure we're staying square here. as you guys seen, we're gonna have to do some sanding and drilling. Again, safety with fiberglass. Wear a respirator, wear gloves, wear long sleeves. Do it away from other people. Do it outside if you can. Do it in your garage. So that being said, we're obviously not going to do this right here because this is my recording area, and we don't want fiberglass dust all over everything. So stick around. We're going to do some sanding. I'm going to do some drilling on that bulkhead to ensure that I can pull it back out of the nose cone once it's already fully in there. So stick around. Thanks. Alright, everyone, we're back. We got the OD of this sanded down quite a bit. Hopefully it'll fit in the nose cone smoother. And we also just drilled 2 holes. These will probably be drilled out bigger eventually, but what we're going to do for now, we're just going to tie some kitchen twine in here. And the reason we're doing this is going to go to a point where it might be hard to get out of the nose cone without trying to shove something through the tip and smack it out. And I'd rather just be able to grab it and pull. So this is definitely not my tie-off point for a parachute or anything like that. This is just a temporary aid, if you will. So let's get some of this stuff out of my way. So now what we're going to do is we have marks. We should be sitting into somewhere around here once we get this put together. So we have where we want the nose cone, the direction, orientation of that. Okay, so there we are. And we're going to attempt to slide this over. It's almost airtight. That's what you hear going on. All right, so now we're seated. We can take a quick measurement here just to see how far we're seated, but we're seated pretty good. So we're going to go back to our other room where we do the drilling and the sanding and all that, and we're going to step through and eventually make this hole big enough to where we can put the stud on the inside. All right, thanks. that? Oh, yeah. Of course you can't hear me because I had a respirator on. All right. So you guys seen what we did? Went through and we drilled through the nose cone and the coupler here. And I went ahead and also sanded up, roughed up these little weld tabs a little bit. And these are just gonna fit right in here. And realistically, they could probably be just held in with some super glue, but we're going to use this JB Weld Marine Weld. I like it, sets in 5 minutes. Can mix it up in small batches. So that's what we're gonna do. I might take the camera and bring it a little bit closer so you guys can see what's going on with that. But I gotta go get some little cups. I wanna change my gloves and I need a beverage. So we'll be back in a minute. Thanks. All right, we're back. So we have our JB Weld here. Let's open this up. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to, but here. I give you a little mixing tray here. It's not, it'll work. Okay, so these are simple. You just twist the cap off and makes it so you can't put the cap back on backwards. Dispense what you need and put the cap back on. I don't like epoxy all over my hands, so I'm going to put some gloves on. All right. We're gonna mix it. We're gonna put some epoxy down here and we're gonna seat these. We may go back and epoxy over the backs of them, but right now we're just gonna get them seated. All right, so. All right, so we've got our nose cone and its shoulder drilled and epoxied up, waiting to dry. So next thing we're gonna move on is to the av bay connection to the upper body tube. This is also gonna be a hard point. We're gonna put the same weld nuts and bolts into it. This just makes things a lot easier for transportation and again, reconfiguration of the rocket at a later time. So this coupler is 16 inches long. And the switch band is 3 inches long. So if we mark at 6.5, 8, and 9.5, that's where our switch band will be. We're going to make a few marks on this all the way around. And if you guys do this different or you've done something similar, let me know in the comments. Again, you could like and subscribe, even if you don't really care for rocket stuff. That would be great. And you're gonna hear some music, and you already have. That is my wife with the Barber-Jean machine. All of her information is in the description below. If you could go like and subscribe to her stuff as well, that would be great. All right, so we've got this marked up. We've got it held together pretty securely right now. We're gonna go start drilling this and getting this ready for the epoxied weld nuts as well. So we'll take you back in the other room and we'll start working on that. Again, if you could like and subscribe and leave a comment on my channel, as well as go check out my wife's music stuff, that would be really cool. And there we have all three of them seated. You see that? Maybe? Alright, probably not. Alright, so that's it for this episode. We've taken and we've assembled the nose cone shoulder and the nose cone and made one assembly of that. And we've taken and started working on our ab bay to attach to the upper airframe. The next step is going to be we're going to bolt the switch band on as well, so that can be movable. Probably going to use something quite a bit smaller than this, like 6/32 or something like that. because there's no real load on that. And we're mitigating it, any load on it, because of the hard point connections. And then obviously the fin can. I've got to purchase some Kevlar strap and some chopped fiberglass to mix with epoxy to do the internal fillets, and make a couple jigs. So that'll be the next video, is further on. Perhaps we'll do the ab bay next as we procure the items needed for the fin can. Once again, my name is Mike. This is 1A4 Aerospace. If you could like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. Have a good day.